Welcome back to the Human Chronicles, where we follow the long journey of our planet and uncover how Earth evolved from chaos into the only known home of life. In today's episode, we travel more than 4.5 billion years into the past, to a time when Earth was a world of fire, storms, and molten stone. A time we now call the Hadean Era. A time when the Earth was not yet a planet, but a violent possibility. Imagine a world with no blue skies, no oceans, no continents, only a swirling mass of molten rock stretching endlessly in every direction. The early Earth was a blazing sphere of liquid fire, its surface glowing like the inside of a volcano. Heat radiated from everywhere, from the colossal impacts of asteroids and comets, from radioactive elements deep within the mantle, and from the leftover energy of the massive collision that formed the moon. The air was thick with steam and poisonous gases. Lightning raced violently through clouds of volcanic ash, and the surface of the planet churned like a boiling cauldron. As time passed, not hours or years, but millions upon millions of years, the outer layers of this molten world began the impossible task of cooling. Thin and stable plates of rock formed at the surface, only to be shattered again by rising magma or destroyed by the constant rain of space debris. Nothing stayed solid for long. Every moment was a struggle between cooling and chaos, as the Earth tried to create a crust that refused to survive. Yet with each attempt, the planet took one more step towards stability. Above this unstable surface floated an atmosphere unlike anything you can imagine. It was not blue or clear, but a suffocating haze of carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, methane, and steam released endlessly by erupting volcanoes. There was no oxygen, no protection from the sun's radiation, no breathable air, just a heavy, toxic shroud wrapped tightly around the young world. Thunderstorms raged constantly, illuminating the sky with flashes of white fire. Lightning struck the surface in ceaseless patterns, a reminder of the violent energy still trapped within the planet. And then, something remarkable began to happen. As the Earth cooled further, the enormous amounts of water vapor in the atmosphere condensed into the first raindrops. What followed was not a storm in any normal sense. It was rain on a scale we cannot truly imagine. For millions of years, water fell from the sky in endless sheets, hammering the still hot surface, evaporating instantly into steam, rising again, condensing again, and falling once more. The entire world became a cycle of falling rain and rising vapor. A gigantic struggle between fire and water. Slowly, the surface cooled enough for the water to remain liquid. Pools became lakes, lakes expanded into basins, and the basins deepened into the first oceans. But these early oceans were not blue, calm, or life-rich. They were black and acidic, filled with dissolved metals and heated by underwater eruptions that churned the seafloor with chemicals. Hydrothermal vents blasted boiling water into the depths, mixing minerals that would one day become important for life. The water simmered rather than flowed. The ocean floor cracked continuously as new crust formed beneath the waves. And although these waters were harsh, they were the first true sign that Earth was becoming a world where life could someday take hold. Just as the planet began to stabilize, a new threat arrived. Around 4.1 billion years ago, the giant planets of our solar system shifted, disturbing the orbits of countless asteroids and comets. A storm of cosmic debris rained down on Earth in what we now call the Late Heavy Bombardment. Impacts strong enough to vaporize oceans and melt crust struck again and again. Entire regions of the planet were reset to molten conditions, and doing millions of years of cooling in an instant. Yet each time, the crust reformed. Each time, the oceans condensed again. Earth, against all odds, endured. By the end of the Hadean, the world looked dramatically different from the fiery sphere it had once been. Vast oceans covered much of the surface. The crust, while still thin and unstable, held firm more often than it broke. Volcanoes reshaped the land daily, but land existed. The atmosphere remained toxic, yet it allowed sunlight to filter through. And beneath the oceans, the seafloor simmered with chemical reactions. The stage was set. The building blocks of life were beginning to form. The planet was still violent, still unpredictable, still evolving, but no longer a world of pure destruction. It was now a world capable of creation. The Hadean Earth had transformed from a realm of fire into a world of water and rock, from chaos to the first hint of order. And it is in this shifting environment, this balance between destruction and stability, that life would begin its journey. The story of life starts not with a spark, but with a planet finally ready to calm down and allow chemistry to evolve into biology. In the next episode, we explore how Earth's early oceans and volcanic environments forged the first organic molecules that would someday lead to life itself. Thank you for watching the Human Chronicles. If this glimpse into the violent, molten, storm-filled past of our planet fascinated you, stay with us. The origin of life begins in the next episode. As Earth transforms chemistry into the first ingredients of biology, subscribe, follow the journey, and continue exploring the story of our world.